Hello everyone and welcome to the first look, and you can see that this is the W2 Ultra, a very new dongle itself. I got the original W2 here. You can see this is the black W2, and this is the latest one, W2 Ultra itself, that supposedly has a lot more power and some improvements, especially in the design and stuff. So I'm excited to try it out and also compare the quality of the Ultra together with the original W2 here and see is there any difference or not. Before I start, I'd like to thank Jaben for actually loaning me this copy. Now this is their demo set, so they actually let me do the unboxing for the demo set. Very thanks to them, and let you guys see what's inside this box, and then after that have a very quick listen and also trying it out with high powered headphones and see whether does it provide enough power to push them. So without wasting time, let's unbox this now. You can see just like the previous one, they actually have a very nice case. Then they have just the thing in the center here, then it writes there, you can see here the same carbon fiber back. We'll look more at the device later. Okay. Now this is inside the box. They no longer give the free iPhone cable. They only give the USB-C, which is fine. We will take out the USB-C one. Now this is a bit sad. They don't want to give the old iPhone Lightning cable, but it's fine. So let's take a closer look at the new W2 Ultra first before we actually do a listening test. You can see the device itself, in terms of sizing, is actually slightly bigger now. It's just a touch bigger, like a few millimeters bigger here and there compared to the old W2. There's also a volume knob now rather than just buttons, and this volume knob is pressable. So you can select and press. Very convenient one. And then you can see that these are the ports below, same as the last one. You got a balanced and the unbalanced port, and that there is not much difference. There's also a panel here, same as the old one. The panel looks bigger, but we'll power up and take a look later. And that's really about it. So without wasting time, let's power this up. I'll be using an Android device. This is my player, the M17. This one will provide as much power as the device needs to get it going. As you can see here, once power up, it writes there, the volume itself, the the bit rate, and then whether is it normal or not. Not too sure whether you can do anything else. Let me see. So just like the old W2, you can change how the equalizer works. Just press and hold, and then you can actually turn it around and take a look at the various settings. You can set the gain here, and then I don't know what's PAV. Then I also don't know what's this. Then there's EQ, which I believe you can select again, and then you can change it from the normal, classic, and what's not. So just like the old W2, there is a lot more function in their luxury precision decks than almost any maker out there when it comes to functionalities built in. The fact that they got a different equalizer module built into the dongle itself is really impressive. I mean, they're processing some things inside here. There's also a filter that you can set fast and slow, and LL fast, LL slow, noise, and various things. So very nice that they have a filter built in too. And that the rest looks pretty normal except the tuning. I don't know what it does exactly. So that's really about it. So I will just keep it on normal and then try it out, with some devices here. So first I'll use a relatively sensitive IEM. This is the Radon 6. And then I will just compare this with the old W2 and then see how they sound, what's the difference. And then after that, I also will try with my DCA Stealth to see whether it powers headphones easily. So a quick comparison between both of these is that the Ultra seems to just have a little bit, a touch more energy in the midst. So I'm not very sure whether is it even a true difference, because it may just be a volume difference that's causing it. But other than that, they sound very similar, assuming the same setting. So when I first started trying it out, I noticed that wow, the luxury precision, the old one looks a bit more bigger sounding, but then I checked, it's actually the filter. So once I changed the filter to exactly the same setting, both of these guys sound almost the same. I'm not too sure whether is it a case that it's just slightly louder. That's why there's a difference. But if not, both of them were very clean, very clear. And with all the same filter settings, with very close matching volumes, they sound nearly identical. As I said, the only difference, if there was any, is just a touch more power in the mids region in the new one. Other than that, the soundstage and everything just sound really, really similar. The filter selection makes a bigger difference, and the EQ selection makes an even bigger difference. But you know, if they were exactly the same settings, they sound very, very similar itself. However, it is more convenient, of course, to change volume using this thing rather than pressing the buttons here. Though I would say a selecting menu is a bit simpler with the buttons than the knob. That is how I felt out just now when I was trying it out. There is one thing on the note is that at the same volume number, which is like 52 here and 57 here, they sound very similar, which means that this device does go higher in volume. Now, does it mean more power? Now I'm going to try it out. Can it power my DCA Stealth? So I just compared the W2 Ultra with the original W2 using the DCA Stealth, and there are a few notable things. Firstly, the W2 Ultra does have a little bit more oomph in the mids itself. Really a bit more oomph. You can feel like the mids are just more powerful, especially in the bass regions and stuff. You can really feel that. Next thing you will notice is that at the volume selection part is about 4 points lower than the old W2. It does mean that W2 Ultra does go higher in volume if you are talking about powering the DCA Stealth, and it does power it properly. Both of them does power it properly if you're looking at 70 something decibel listening with an occasional peak to 80 something. But what if you max out the volume for both of them? Now, the best track I noticed is this song called Suzume. At the 2 minute 54 point, there's this bass that comes in that kills dongles for some reason. Or should I say it kills most amplifier if you are powering it with a DCA Stealth and they are not high powered. So the old W2 131 in-depth performance test doesn't even produce 100 decibel of sound, and it starts distorting like crazy. It's like low 90s for the old W2 itself. The new W2 is like mid to high 90s and occasionally peaks at 100 decibel with no distortion using the DCA Stealth. Very impressive. So if you are ultra loud listener, you want to listen to your tracks at 90 decibel and you're using a DCA Stealth or any inefficient planners, the W2 Ultra is a no-brainer choice. It is better. By the way, the original W2 performs better than most dongles that I've tried out there. The Ultra is significantly better. I can tell you it's significantly better. Literally no distortion. This is full of distortion and softer, no distortion and louder. What can I say? So to just summarize everything that I tried out today, firstly, the W2 Ultra does have a little bit more function than the old W2. It has one tone function, which I don't know what it does exactly, and a PVA function, which I also don't know what it does exactly, right? Something to find out in the future, because today is just an unboxing and first listen. Next thing is that the sound-wise, if you are using IEM, the difference between both of them are very small. I mean, as I said, slightly more power in the mids, slightly more focus there. But that's about it. I mean, you won't go wrong with either one, and the EQ or the filter makes a bigger difference. Now, if you are a headphone user, then I'll say get the W2 Ultra because it is more powerful. You can actually hear the difference in the mids, that punchiness there. It's just a bit more responsive in the mids and dynamics. And more importantly, it does go louder and it is better in terms of power output. It definitely can run my DCA Stealth with no distortion up to 100 decibel peak, which is very impressive. I mean, you won't be listening music at 90 decibel average. That is ultra loud, and you'll go deaf if you just listen for it a few hours. Most likely you'll listen at the low 80s, mid 80s if you are a loud listener, and if you are a soft listener, 70s, which means that occasional peak that reach 90 plus. With this dongle, the DCA Stealth, perfect. Well, this guy may distort if you pick at 90 something. So if you are a headphone user, no brainer, the W2 Ultra is significantly better. Not only do you get some sound improvement, very slight in the mids region, but you also get a much more powerful output. And really, that's about it. This is the first look of the W2 Ultra. Give you less accessories. but it does have more features, more power, and sound a little bit better on headphones. I want to once again thank Jaben for loaning me their copy, their demo set, to try out, give you guys a first look, first impression of it. Very raw as it gets. And if you're in the market for a high power dongle, look no further. The W2 Ultra is the choice. See you guys again. Bye bye.